Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
Happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. I think, unless you're in another country, and happy Friday. I mean, unless you're in Australia, it could be Saturday.
And in which case, good day.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
I did actually send something to someone in Australia.
Oh, very nice.
Like, seriously? It only cost... No, it was not. It was expensive. Anyway, but that's this hobby... The hobbies, because there's not just one. There's multiples. You see people from everywhere.
Hobbies know no boundaries.
Yeah, I interacted with people from all over the place this week. Muncie, Indiana. That's a real place. I thought it was just on television.
Yeah.
But that's really a place. Yep. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. If that's what you celebrate. If you're in Canada, we're a month late, I think.
Yeah, their Thanksgiving was last month.
Yes, but we have friends up there. So happy Thanksgiving a month ago. Anyway, so we'll talk some TV shows today. There's stuff coming out. Yeah, December's actually got stuff. Well, it's not December. November, December's got stuff. There's a couple of, like, Reacher and stuff is coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks interesting.
I don't think Cobra Kai's coming back yet. It will be, but I don't think yet. But there's things. There's definitely things. This is the first time we don't have a Marvel Star Wars show on.
In the end of the year, yeah, and this has kind of been Mando season, but...
That is true. There's nothing, but we've had something going through December, or starting in December.
Or a Star Trek. We have no Star Trek, Marvel, or Star Wars. Is that
interesting?
True? Yes.
Well, thank goodness we have other things to watch, because otherwise we'd be in a drought.
Meanwhile, we lived 30 years without some of that stuff, and now we're complaining because we had all three on at one time.
Yeah.
And a lot of what we are getting, we're complaining isn't good, but we should just be happy. We should just be thankful we have anything, but no.
That's right, yeah. You watch any of this stuff and you complain, go back and watch the 70s Marvel TV series. That's all. That's all I got to say.
I love that stuff. Yeah. Nicholas Hammond is the
rightful
Spider-Man.
The true Peter Parker.
Even though he
try to
40.
exist in the 80s
even though when
all the
he pulls
way through the 2000s.
Even though when he pulls his mask on, he suddenly becomes 4 inches shorter.
And that stuff was great.
Yeah.
It's compression material.
That's what it is. You're right. The early spandex was pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say before, just like try living from like 1985 to the mid, 90s where there was nothing at all. So,
Yep.
At least we called those the dark times.
The dark times. There was some not even good movies, really. Good movies ended in, 1985? I don't know if that's true. Well, we'll see. Ghostbusters.
There were some good ones, but they were few and far between compared to the heyday of the early 80s.
Yeah. What's that? There are good movies in the 90s? We'll have to do that as a show.
That's actually not a bad idea. Do good movies from the 90s.
Good genre movies. Like the Goodfellas and all that stuff. Pulp Fiction, that was 90s.
That's 90s, but that's not our stuff. We should do that. Was there maybe
genres?
We get the other guys.
A few. Like there were a few in there. Like
don't make the list yet though. Yeah, but maybe we get the other guys in.
No,
I need
to know one. Tell me one, Barry.
The Fifth Element.
That's not one.
I know. I like the Fifth Element.
Fifth Element's great.
Okay, how about The Fix? Do you like them?
The band? Yeah, I almost went to see them last night.
Oh, really?
No, I'm sorry. No, they're playing tonight, actually. They're in the town of Patchogue tonight. And I'm not there because I'm here recording with you.
Todd, Sergeant Rock comics.
Yeah.
Remember, this is that game? I don't remember what it was.
1991, The Rocketeer. I was trying to remember whether it was 89 or 90. But
okay,
it's
Sergeant
91.
Rock. Do you like those comics? Okay, no. Now you have to name a Tom Cruise movie that I may or may not like.
Cocktail.
Cocktail's horrible.
No.
Horrible.
Legend.
Not good either.
Legend's not good. There's something about Legend that's, but it's just not good. There's something about it.
Tom Cruise legs?
Sarah. Huh?
Tom Cruise legs, maybe?
No,
there's a lot of that. There's a whole lot of
that. Tim Curry
just...
is something to see in that movie.
The whole thing. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot on screen, but it's not good. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All
for
right,
you
anyway.
listening at home, this is called a rat hole.
I just can't believe
No,
you
we
pulled
have
out
a-
the Fix, as considering I was literally going to go see them tonight if we weren't
See?
recording.
I like the Fix, too. I only know like 2 of their songs.
Yeah,
Red Skies at Night, is that them?
that is them.
And One Thing Leads to Another. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
only
them
thing I
too.
know.
So here another I guess this is 80s music. I might go see Zebra tomorrow night. Do you remember Zebra?
Yeah. Jesus.
Zebra plays every night on Long Island.
No,
That's
no,
just the thing.
tomorrow night is their
Long Island's
40th
own Zebra.
Tomorrow night is their 40th anniversary of their debut album. They're doing a show where they're doing the whole album.
And were they doing it at the Smith Haven Mall? Is that where they're doing it?
No, it's at an IHOP in Huntington.
Are they opening for Tiffany at that mall? I mean, what?
Puppet show and Zebra.
They're playing at the Paramount in Huntington.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they are like a Long Island band,
Oh,
right?
they're a Long Island. Yeah, they're a legendary Long Island band. That
Twisted
one of those
Sister
bands
could have
that
been, but-
never, they were this close to making it and didn't quite make it.
Tell Me What You Want. Is that them?
Tell me what you want.
That's the only song I know.
Yeah.
I would actually go to that if I was inclined to drive to Long Island.
I was going to say,
the
come on
Wednesday
down tomorrow night,
The
Dave.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving
Yes.
in shitty weather? No, thank you.
Stay over here and then drive back early Thursday morning.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
no one will
that'll
be on the
work.
roads Thursday.
Yeah, no one will be on the roads Thursday. That's a better day to drive.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Boy,
Anyway,
we usually
that's
start the show out with random topics. This couldn't be more random.
That's
could not
the
be more random.
beauty of it. This is good random stuff.
This is good. We're kind of like us, the three of us, just catching up after a while.
I know.
of not
Like,
being able to do that.
it's a pain that we have to actually record this. I'd rather just talk to you guys.
That was the first half hour before we started
Yeah.
recording.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it was that, too.
Good stuff. You guys could miss good stuff that none of you would care about.
Yep.
That's not true. If you
think
like
they would
Planet
care.
Earth and you're interested in a multi-siever, text me.
Because now Dave knows how to make them.
That's right.
I'm not making another one. It was easy to no. Making one is one thing. Making two is almost the same thing. Then starting over and making another complete one is not happening. It's a pain in the ass. Let me tell you something. I don't know when the last time you guys used Bondo was, but that stuff smells
It's not fun.
horrible.
It's not fun. Yep.
Was that
Like
the only
two-
option? That's the only material that you could have used?
Well, I mean,
I'm at the stage
There's a
with
lot-
my long stalled gun from The Expanse where I got to use Bondo. There's really no other way of doing it, and I just haven't. So
there are putties that you could use,
Yeah.
but that's the good thing about Bondo is it sets fast, it sands well,
It's kind
but
of
it
indestructible,
smells
yeah.
and then,
really
but you
bad.
can also once you put it in there, you can reshape that and plastic at the same time and kind of blend it. It becomes part of it. So that's what I got to do.
Anyway, that no one knows what the hell we're talking about, but I used Bondo on a prop replica, and it's just I don't know how people do. And I wore a respirator. There's probably dudes redoing cars and not wearing respirators. That stuff is nasty.
I knew that guy. Yep.
Yeah.
All I can say is I think the two of you will have gone deeper on those costumes than anybody else in the history of costume
You're speaking, of
and
course,
prop collecting.
about the costumes and now props from the legendary 1970s pilot Planet Earth, which
Starring
the
great John Saxon.
The
late-
great John Saxon.
the late great
Everyone
John
bow your
Saxon.
head when we say John Saxon.
And so, anyways, Dave is in. We'll figure out a way of getting pictures out. But Dave has recreated one of the.
It's on Instagram.
Is it on? Good. Okay, put it up.
I'll put it on
put
Instagram.
Put it up.
Now
Dave
that
has
we're talking
recreated
about it.
one of the hallmark props from that film. We're still trying to track down another, but this thing is freaking amazing. And it's yeah.
See, I was
If
this
anyone-
close. I was this close to taking one of those uniforms, but since you didn't make me a multi-siever or whatever it's called,
hey.
I don't want it now.
If you take one, I'll make you one. I'll make one. I can make you one.
I need to
You have
watch
to love
that.
it.
I have to watch the movie. That's the thing.
It's epic. I'll tell you, it really is. Like I said, it is the closest you will find to an original series Star
What
Trek.
did you say?
episode.
It's epic?
It's epic.
it's marginally okay. Is what it really is.
I'm trying to get Barry to watch it. Okay,
Yeah.
he's had it for like
But
2
I
weeks
just
and he
feel
hasn't
like
watched
there's
it.
such a connection to it between me and you.
No, it's
that's what's great about it. And Barry, we'd love to include you in our cult of
Yeah.
two.
Cult of
That's
John
right.
Saxon.
Yeah.
Um,
Put it this way:
it's like-
it is a fascinating study of what could have been. Okay, because it's very much like I said. If just like a decision had gone the other way, we could have had 3 seasons of that in the 70s.
we could have.
So,
Now I'll tell you this. So, and I don't. Again, just whatever. It's our show. So just listen, whether you want to or not. So it's Gene Roddenberry, 1973, 74. Wrote a pilot. He shot one, didn't work. Then he sort of retooled the idea and made this. This is Planet Earth
Yep.
with the great John Saxon back ahead. So there were plans for multiple episodes, and there's somewhere online. There's like six episode sort of just treatments or just blurbs on what they wanted to do. Now it never got picked up. One of those episodes ideas turned into the storyline for Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
oh really? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Didn't
I'm
we-
not. I'm
I
not
don't know if
surprised.
we
A lot
talked
of like all the,
Yeah.
almost all of the Phase 2 scripts became Next Generation scripts.
Yeah, I think some of these may have become the Phase 2.
Yeah.
There were definitely a couple of
Yeah.
scripts that became Phase 2.
Nothing ever got thrown away. They just recycled it.
So
No, I mean, this is Star Trek in a different package. There's John Saxon is Kirk, female second lead.
Yep.
It's absolutely Star Trek.
I mentioned to you guys before. I don't know if I said it online, but there's a author named Peter Kynes who wrote these books, and the first of which was The Fold, and it's basically intersecting alternate realities and people getting shifted back and forth between them is the longer game. But anyways, in one of these realities, people barely remember Star Trek, but they do remember. Star Trek is remembered as the single season show that spun off the Gary Seven show, which ran.
Oh, really?
Ran
Cool.
for years and years and years. So somewhere out there's a reality where Next Generation never was made, but Planet Earth ran
Earth
7
is-
seasons and now has a successor series. So
Yeah, now there's There's what was his name? Dylan Hunt. A series called Hunt, starring a 90-year-old.
that's right,
Dylan
sorry,
Hunt.
90-year-old Dylan Hunt, and
Yeah.
yep. So, anyways, it's
But anyway,
what could have
so
been.
we love it. So go see it if you know anything about it.
Yeah, check it out.
send
Go
us
in
a
with
note.
go in with an open mind, people. Hey, young Diana
Send us a note
Muldoon.
on Instagram.
Nothing wrong with that.
Diana
So-
Muldoon, yeah, she looks great.
She does
though,
look
too.
great.
And that other woman,
Jenna
Lurch.
Margolin looks
Who
very
doesn't
good
want to
too.
see Lurch?
Yeah, Lurch.
Yep.
Lurch is in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, there you
Bigfoot
go.
people, Bigfoot, and
He wasn't Bigfoot.
he was Bigfoot.
Andre the Giant was Bigfoot.
Ted
that's
Cassidy wasn't Bigfoot in $6 Million Man.
I'm pretty sure it's Andre the Giant.
We'll need to look this up. I thought it was Ted Cassidy. I thought for years. I've always thought it was Ted Cassidy.
Barry's looking it up.
Bear's
right
looking
now.
it up. Okay,
I am.
Dave, you got a random topic?
I do.
Andre the Giant.
Was
Really?
Yeah.
But what's funny is people also ask, did Ted Cassidy play Bigfoot in the $6 Million
See, because
Man?
I always thought it was Ted Cassidy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have random.
Oh,
Let's see.
wait,
Okay, so-
wait. I must stop the show. There was a second episode in 77 where they reprised Bigfoot
Yep.
and Ted Cassidy played him.
I know I saw his name in the
Really?
credits.
Wow.
I knew I saw his name in the credits. So the Return of Bigfoot
The
was.
Return of Bigfoot was Ted Cassidy.
Cassidy,
The original
yes.
was Andre the Giant.
Wow,
Okay.
that's great. I did not.
Thank
know
you,
that.
Barry, because I was questioning my entire childhood.
Nope, I redeemed you.
Thank you.
You've been redeemed.
Wow.
Appreciate that.
All right, Dave, sorry I interrupted your random, but go for it.
Yeah, I'll go first. So, did we talk about this last week? There's a documentary coming out called "A Disturbance in the Force."
Yes,
Did we talk about
didn't
that
talk
last-
about it, but I've been following this for a while.
I had it on my list. So it's basically a documentary about the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh yeah.
And they so it's been doing a limited run in theaters, and they just announced this week that it's going to come to streaming or They say digital, so I guess you could rent
That's a
or buy
rental,
it.
yeah. And the Blu-ray comes out, I think, December 5th.
5th, yeah, they're both coming out
Yeah.
December 5th. I want to see that. I don't know.
Me too.
I do
Because
too.
it's made by like people. They've interviewed everybody that they could,
Yeah.
and it's made by like legit filmmakers. It's not like it's not like one of the toys that made us thing. And I don't mean to besmirch those guys. Like they do a ton of like documentary. But
it's a little thin.
It's going to be more than that. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
a little bit more than that style. It's going to be real documentary style.
So I definitely want to check that
Yeah.
out. I don't know if I'll buy the Blu-ray, but I'll definitely check that out one way or another.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely want to see it too, and I've been looking forward to it for like I've been hearing about it for like a year.
Yeah, they've been talking. I remember it about a year ago, and now there's a lot more talk about it. And now they just announced when it's going to be available. So that's cool. So that's so check that out. That's a couple weeks away. Todd, what do you got?
So, looks like they're going to make a Fantastic Four movie. They're talking about casting people for the first time where no one has come out within 2 days and said, no, that person isn't going to be in it. So, not thrilled about Pedro Pascal. Is
that a definite or that's still a rumor?
It's a rumor, but it's been a week, and every single one of these other things
He's
have
like
been
50.
He's 48 years old, which it's just, if you go back to the first Marvel, the Marvel films, not counting Iron Man, okay, Thor, not really a known actor. Captain America, not all that, wasn't a headliner, okay. This is what they built themselves in the back of, because you could see the character and not the actor. I think they're really making a mistake taking somebody who's hugely associated with other properties and shoehorning him into a character that it just, I mean, how are you not going to see Wonder Woman when you look at him? Not Wonder Woman 1984 when you look at him. But anyways, because that's Maxwell Lord is the character he's most known for.
I think he's most known for The Last of Us.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Or Mandalorian, or a million other things. Or
The Mandalorian, the whole last season, he never took his helmet off.
Yeah, this is true. He gets a check though. So Vanessa Kirby, I think, could be a great Sue Storm. That's what they're saying. I mean, both of the two of them are on IMDb right now as unconfirmed. There's other names floating around. I just, like I said, I feel like they could do this without trying to go for star power.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see where it goes. But
I saw a blurb that said Sue Storm is the lead in this
right,
movie.
and that's what. And they said that some of the proposed lead actors have walked away for that reason. That she is that it's built around her. Because if Marvel's learned anything in the last month is focusing a film on female characters can be very successful. Also joking.
It's not there.
Yes.
Crickets.
I don't think it's
Crickets.
their fault. But
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Barry, what do you got?
Well, it was announced today.
Yep.
Dave Filoni is
Yes.
now the chief creative officer at Lucasfilm.
I left that for you, Barry.
I figured
Who
you
was?
did.
Was there that title before?
No.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
It was in a Vanity Fair article in an interview, so he announced it himself that is now his new position, and he is going to be planning the future of Star Wars films and shows.
Yep.
Working
In the
closely
background,
with Kathleen Kennedy.
And in the background, while he was saying that he'd be working closely with Kathleen Kennedy, she was filling the soda machines. so we know they're going to be working very close together.
The only thing that I could not get out of any of the articles that linked to this article were what's going on with Favreau. Is he still involved? Is he not going to be involved? I hope he remains involved.
Honestly, I hope he takes a bigger role at Marvel and has I think Marvel needs his help more than Star Wars does right now.
That'd be interesting if they did that.
Yeah,
Although they have
I would be
Kevin
okay with
Feige,
that. But if he's not going to end up there, because there's been all these rumors for the last year that he had a big falling out with Kathleen Kennedy, and who knows, but none of that was ever confirmed. But we'll see what happens.
And knowing what we know of Jon Favreau, he would never confirm it. If
Right.
that were the case, he would never confirm it.
But
So
Filoni has been there from the beginning with Lucas, and I've enjoyed everything he's done. So, this couldn't be better. There's no better choice than him, I don't
if
think.
there's a direction for the future of this franchise, he's got a better handle on it than anybody. So
Yes.
Yeah, other than Favreau. So, but I think, and I think as long as they work
Well, them
cooperatively
together, it works very well.
I mean, Favreau certainly kicked off Mando without Filoni, but he and Filoni have been working side by side now for years.
No,
so.
and
Yeah.
So, yep. No, that's
makes
it's
sense.
great news. It's great.
Amen
news.
on that one.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. There's Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yeah, I saw that today. What the heck?
Like, really? Okay.
With
that's
Eddie
fine.
Murphy?
That's all we need. Just to know about that.
I guess I'm okay. As long as it's funny, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, the Coming to America 2 was not that funny.
No.
Yeah, that's
really
what I was thinking.
to
Do
that.
you really go to Beverly Hills Cop 4 after Coming to America 2? Is it that point in his career? So
I guess it's better than Shrek 6.
it's a good point. Good point, Barry.
He's got a Christmas movie coming out too.
The Nutty Professor Does Christmas?
Yeah, no, something else. They were supposed to make, and I don't know. I thought someone pulled out. They were supposed to make triplets. Twins.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were supposed to make triplets: Arnold, Danny DeVito, and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And I thought Arnold said Eddie Murphy was a no-go or something. I don't quote me on that.
I'm not sure that would have been a
that
good
could be
movie.
funny.
That
could have been funny in the 80s. A geek tyrant, don't quote me on that, as you quote every podcast there is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could be funny, but there's equally as
There's
good
a lot
or
of
better
potential for it
chance
not
that
to
it
be
wouldn't
funny.
be funny.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything else? I got a couple.
You know what
just
we never
randoms.
really touched on, just because it kind of got lost in translation with all the other things going on, but the prop store auction a couple weeks back, I just had like 2 or 3 items I wanted to highlight what they sold for. So
Yeah, I was very turned off by that auction because the starting prices were ridiculous.
They were. So C-3PO helmet, the one that Anthony Daniels owned, sold for $838,750. That's respectable.
Yeah.
There was a TIE Fighter pilot helmet that was screen matched to A New Hope that sold for $655,000.
Wow. That's a lot. Is that a high for any helmet? I don't consider C-3PO really a helmet.
Yeah, it's more of a head than a helmet. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money for that helmet, but that's
a lot.
There were only like 2 or 3 of those helmets made.
And that could be the rarest helmet.
It might be.
There's more Darth Vaders.
Yeah.
What you don't see is X-Wing helmets.
No, you're right. I think
We
that
haven't
those
seen
are all
those.
in the archives.
Interesting.
I don't think any of those got
I also
away.
feel they repainted them a lot and reused them a lot.
They did. Couple more. Indy's whip from Temple of Doom, $350,000. $350,750, so almost $351,000.
That's a lot.
The painting for the Thunderball poster. So the artwork, original artwork, $335,500.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's art.
And then the last one I have, the Aliens APC model from Aliens, $228,750.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
There's more than one of those, I think.
Well, yeah, I think there's multiple sizes. This was the actual remote control one. So
Oh, really?
It was a little smaller, yeah.
Indy's shirt from Raiders did not sell.
Yeah, they wanted like serious amounts of money for that.
And I know,
But
like
the Props
even said on
podcast talked about that.
They were saying you can get a whip for that, a whip or a hat or a jacket for that kind of money.
Yeah, and I think they were saying that they know who owns that shirt, and that they thought that person was putting it up just to see if they could get that kind of money. And the
I'm
answer
glad they
was no.
didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to this. I'm glad there's a limit to it, because I feel like we're on the downward slope of props. Not that it's going to bottom out, but I don't think we're at the peak of props right now. I feel like there's people saying no, I'm not paying that kind of money. We're coming down a little.
I also think a lot of the things that we're going to test that upper limit are out of the market. So we'll see. The big question will be is if some of these really high dollar things hit the market a second time within a few years, and whether or not they realize the kind of money they did.
Yeah.
But as cool as an indie shirt is, when I think indie, I think hat, whip, jacket. I don't think shirt.
Yeah, I don't think
without
shirt.
question. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think the high end, another X-wing comes up, or a B-wing, or an indie hat, they're going to command top dollars. But it's sort of the ratchet down to sort of The B props, and when I say B props, Picard's uniform, $90,000. Like, those things are crazy prices.
Yeah.
You know, they shouldn't be that high.
Especially when there's so many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What did that? I wonder what that the Club Obi-Wan menu went for.
Oh, good question. I don't know.
I wanted to bid on it, but then the opening bid was like, the estimate was like £3,000.
Right, yeah.
I'm not paying
Yeah.
$5,000 for a menu that's not on screen to go with my chicken skewer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just think of the display you could have had.
That's right.
Yeah, but it's not worth it.
No,
it's not.
I
It's
agree.
not even on screen.
No, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, Nicholas Hoult is going to be Lex Luthor. They just announced.
Okay.
In the Spider-Man in Superman Legacy or whatever it's
They
called.
just announced
That's an interesting choice.
Jimmy Olsen too,
Jimmy Olsen. Some guy.
and
I don't know who
he
that
looks
was,
like
so
Jimmy
I didn't-
Olsen, which is good. So,
There you go.
That's
So-
really all you can ask for.
well,
Yeah.
that hasn't always been the case. So, the last
Who didn't
the
look like Jimmy
the last two
Olsen?
Jimmy Olsens didn't
The
look
last
like
two
Jimmy
Jimmy
Olsen.
Olsen's, yeah, something was not
was
quite
it?
the same.
Well,
as
one of them was
comics.
black, and the other was a CIA agent 30-year-old CIA agent who got killed in the first shot. So, first scene. So,
In the Henry Cavill
Yeah,
Superman
yeah.
ones.
So, yeah, Jimmy Olsen met Lois Lane and then was immediately killed. So,
Okay,
and again,
I'm
he
fine
was a
with
secret
that.
agent, so CIA agent. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we'll go back to a little more traditional Jimmy Olsen. Give him a bow tie and a camera.
Yeah.
The last week there was a little 5-minute Doctor Who kind of teaser thing that came out that is really, if you like Doctor Who, or particularly if you like David Tennant, it's very funny, and it kind of shows the moment of creation for the Daleks and explains one particular aspect of the Daleks in a way that's never been explained before, and or Daleks, as people keep telling me I should say. Yeah, it's funny. It's very funny.
Because first movie comes out the 25th.
I think so. Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Yes, less than a week.
60th anniversary of Doctor Who, and
There you go. I'll watch those. I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna-
it's
I'm
his
gonna
first
give it a
time.
try.
It's really his first time back in the role since 2010.
I stepped
So-
away from Doctor Who for a while, but I'd like to give this a chance.
Yeah. He he was there for the 50th anniversary, but he hasn't really been the Doctor since then, and we'll see. I'm excited for it, so we'll see.
You know who I'm excited for? Fanboy Collectibles. They got out everything you need. I know I say this every week, but they do.
They have Locutus and Borg.
Like cute as a Borg. More on that later. Ahsoka, Hot Toys Ahsoka. Now, don't you have a Hot Toys Ahsoka?
I
This
have
is the new Ahsoka.
I have the
Ahsoka Light.
Mandalorian Hot Toys Ahsoka, which they
Mandalorian. So this is one from the series. That is up for pre-order.
they picture with it, which is interesting. So
The what?
It's a good looking figure.
one of the pictures they picture my version. So
Cool. But that is up for pre-order. Gentle Giant Fennec Shan, our favorite Ming Na, who I think the other day was her 60th birthday. We can only look that good when we're 60.
that's right. Good on her.
You know
she
what?
defies
When we're out of
age.
the commercial, tell me if you guys saw her at Rhode Island, because her name never came up.
Just
So,
from the distance.
I'll
yeah.
Just from a distance.
tell you when we get there.
Okay.
Chewy Life Day bust. I know Life Day was last week, but it's still time to get a Chewy Life Day bust. That is funny and very cool.
I almost
Check
feel
that
like
out,
I
but-
need that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome.
One
Sideshow and Hot Toys and Pops. And Todd, did you have something
I was
else
just
that
going to
is
add to the
on
Ahsoka
point
thing.
to the
One of
commercial?
them, because again, I have the other Ahsoka, which I'm very happy with. This one has a second face, which is very cool. She's got like a kind of fierce fighting face. So
Oh, that's cool.
and that's the one thing that I don't have. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll see.
Yeah. So they got everything you need. Check them out. It's the holidays. We said it you're running out of time. It's as you listen to this, less than a month.
Yep.
I know I'm going by Christmas, but Kwanzaa and Hanukkah's early, I think. So
Yeah, I think
you got
it's
no
early this year.
time. So
What are you waiting for? Get on their site
What are you
right
waiting
now.
for?
That's right.
get on the website. Go to the store in Newtown, Connecticut. Fanboycollectibles.com. Get on there. Check it out. Buy yourself something, and if you don't get everything you wanted from Santa, now you got something you want. We do that all year.
We do.
All year.
And tell them the regular Joe sent you.
Tell them the regular Joe sent you. I was going to get into our thing. We should be on a buying things moratorium.
Yeah, we should
don't
be.
do that.
That hasn't worked out this year for me.
You know, Barry ruined that one year when he bought the same.
He
the
did.
thing
X-Wing
Todd
helmet
wanted
for
yes.
Christmas.
The X-Wing helmet.
Proudly displays it, and yeah. So
You can't wait. You can't go the next month without buying something? Any of us?
I'm going to from now till the end of the year.
Really?
But
I'm willing to concede the 1st of December.
I bought something yesterday.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
But it's not something anybody was going to buy.
but it's for the podcast. No, yeah, I could.
I'm worried about stuff that we'll buy each other.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm
about
done
anything
with.
else.
I am done with you guys. I mean, I started shopping. I bought my first gift for one of you back in like March.
I did this. I think I bought something for you, Barry, in April, and
Yeah.
Dave's always hard, but we'll get there.
First of all, my family, my wife, my child can say I'm hard. You cannot say that. You know everything I have.
I do, and that's what I'm saying.
They don't have a
And
clue.
and the
They
reverse of that
don't
is
even
we have
come in
everything.
this room.
So
Your
'cause it's
tastes have
frightening.
also gotten more sophisticated and more expensive. so
and
it's
you
hard to
have
buy
less
stuff for you.
room. Okay, so it's like
What?
you have less room for stuff. So it's like
I can't have anything that goes on a wall.
no, that's what I'm saying. So now
Although next week's what's in the box, hopefully I have something that
everything
goes on
for
a wall.
Dave can't go on a wall or a shelf, but anything else is great.
That's not shelf is not true.
I think I've done well this year. I think you guys will
Okay.
be well
Good.
pleased.
Good.
All right, we'll figure all that out. But be on don't you guys out there shop for yourself. Us, we shouldn't.
Okay.
I just bought something that's good, but no one would ever buy it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, same here. The two
And
things,
I'll
the
show
two things
you-
I bought this week, nobody was going to buy for me either.
I'll show you on hopefully next week. Okay, what are we talking about?
We were going
A
to
couple TV shows.
Yeah, we were going to talk about some TV shows.
Let's talk Monarch first.
Yeah, let's do Monarch.
We're talking Monarch first. So
on
Monarch,
Apple
if
TV Plus.
Apple TV came out last week. It's a series based on
the
sort of the
monster
Godzilla
universe, the Godzilla King Kong
universe.
Yes.
To
From the
me, this
recent
kind of
movies.
came out of nowhere. Like we started talking
I
about
felt
it.
like
I
couple
remember
weeks
when
ago.
they brought it up for the first time, and I thought, yeah, that'll never happen.
and
I
then
saw it,
and then it
it's
was not
a
like
month ago.
on the radar. It wasn't in the news, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, it's coming on in 2 weeks." I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
And I
it's
think
actually
this
here.
was one of those things that fell in the crack because the promotional gap with everybody on strike. So they didn't have the people out there to push this thing because it's got some good people in it.
But they could have held it and they didn't, which was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I know, Dave, you've only seen the first episode. I think Todd and I have seen the first two.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
I'm really
I
enjoying it.
enjoyed it. It's complex yet not stupid.
And I
like
think
Loki.
the second episode is actually better than the first. And
you got to pay attention because they're time
Right.
jumping.
They're
and
time
stuff,
jumping.
but
and
not time
here's one of the
jumping.
things too is
It's not time travel. They're just
not
flashing
time
back
travel. They're
between
just showing
time
things
periods.
okay.
different.
So just
it all came
to
together at
set
the end.
this
Yeah.
thing up. One of these things happens 2 decades before Kong Skull Island, okay, and the other one happens 1 year after the 2014 Godzilla movie, okay. So that is your
Well-
time frame.
Well,
it's
but the other thing happens like a year or so after Godzilla showed up
that's what I'm saying. The 2014
in the
Godzilla
50s.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
no. Godzilla.
Yes, I'm
The
saying
original
the original
Godzilla.
one, okay, this is the 1950s stuff, and we've seen two different dates in the 50s between the two episodes. The 50s stuff.
Thanks for ruining it, Sean.
I'm not ruining it. I'm not telling you what happens. I'm saying when. Okay, Dave. In the second episode, it's prior to the first Godzilla attack. So in the 1950s,
Thanks. I might as well not watch.
okay, the 1950s is again, it's a couple decades before Skull Island, and then to put it, in the MonsterVerse frame, and then the other. Now, so far, nothing happens beyond 2015. So, and there's two films that the 2019 Godzilla and then the Godzilla versus Kong in 2021, 2020 or 2021. Those happen later than this timeline. So this is about Monarch.
Oh, okay.
This is
so my question
about
before
Monarch,
the show was,
while Monarch is still somewhat a secret organization, after the 2014 movie, it became more public. So
yeah. So Monarch is in those new movies.
it's in all of the. It's in
Island,
starting with Skull Island, right down the line. And like I said, but this is kind of during its what is it? It's a secret kind of phase, whereas it's more public in 2019 and then super public in the 2020 film, 2021 film. So
one of the things that I love that they were able to pull off, and it works really well, I think, is that Kurt Russell plays himself, or he's playing the character as in the 2015 era, and his son Wyatt plays him in the 50s, and it really works. I mean, like they
really
look
works,
enough alike.
Unless you think too much about the math of their ages.
Yeah, the math doesn't make sense. I haven't
Wyatt
seen
Russell
Kurt Russell
is
yet.
In his early 30s. Maybe he's in his mid-20s.
Let's say he's 25.
No, but I'm saying, so maybe he's in his mid-20s. If he's in his mid-20s, Kurt Russell's character has to be 85. And he's looking good for 85. So,
yeah.
But anyways, it's not that bad. It's not that far.
As long as you don't think about that, it works better than if they had cast an actor.
I agree entirely.
To play
or
the younger version.
Tried to age somebody and try to sustain that is very, very hard.
Yeah.
I like that. The other character with him in the first, he's with the Japanese woman and that other person. And I didn't catch this until much later. That other person is the John Goodman character from Skull Island.
Yes.
Oh, so I did not know that.
Kendi. Yeah. So, so that's who his character is. So we know what happens to him. But
by the way, it's spoilers.
Well,
just for the audience, because they have not seen episode 1.
Saying who the characters are is not a spoiler if you're not saying what happens to them.
Nothing really happens in episode 1.
The opening scene of the very first episode is that character in the Skull Island time period, right? So it's John Goodman reprising that role, and I freaking loved that scene.
It's great. It was
so good.
It is a cutter. It's a scene that's in between scenes in Skull Island, because I couldn't remember when that would have taken place, but it's in between two scenes in Skull Island. Okay, and it works perfectly in that regard. And I mean,
and we'll say spoilers one more time, because the giant spider fighting the giant crab was fucking awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome. So, and again, none of these are majors, but this just happens very briefly.
It's in the first 3 minutes of the episode,
and it's also was put out as an advanced.
Yeah, they actually released that whole scene on YouTube a couple days before.
In advance.
Yeah.
There's nothing that really happens in episode 1. It's all set up.
It's set up.
Not in a bad way.
If you like these characters, if you like the premise, and I wouldn't say it's the characters so much, it's if you like the premise of a world with these monsters and the idea of an organization that's trying to assess, prepare for.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly they're doing.
It's kind of like, it's kind of interesting because their mission changes over time, but they're intricately tied in with this whole thing, and I think it's a cool idea. I like what they've done with it so far. I'm interested to see. I like the alternating timeline things, and it's working for me so far.
Yeah,
I like
hope
how in
it stays
Tokyo,
this good. I really do, because I liked it more than I expected to go into it and going, oh, okay, this is something that's up my alley, but I'm liking it more than I expected to.
It was a nice sort of out of nowhere surprise, kind of like, oh, this is good. And all of Tokyo has Godzilla evacuation signs, which is awesome. We need that sign.
We need this. I saw that.
Cool.
It's the first prop in this
Somebody's
movie
making that sign
that I saw, and I was like, I need that. Yeah, they basically have Godzilla shelter signs on the subways and stuff. And it was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I need this.
I just loved how they were all sitting down there, and then they're like, all clear.
All clear.
All clear.
No, it's and they have Godzilla. Maybe it's just a drill. We have those. Yeah. And this is things because this is 2015. This is a world without San Francisco because San Francisco was wiped off the map in 2014. Honolulu, I think, was damaged very much too. So it's a whole kind of different reality in that regard, and it's just very interesting. You get a lot of people with PTSD, and as happens when 390-foot monsters wander through. It's Have you guys seen?
How they refer to that as G-Day.
G-Day, yes.
G-Day, yes.
Have you guys seen all 4 films?
It's been a while, but I have seen them all.
Yes, I have seen them all, but I don't really
it's
remember.
I think this works in the time frame that they've got it in. I think the other 2 went a little extreme, and I think it'd be a little harder to do something with those. So
Millie Bobby Brown's not showing up?
Well, in this, she would be about 5 years old or 6 years old or something, so maybe. But
I think of those movies in the same way that I think of the modern Planet of the Apes movies. Like, I've enjoyed all of them, but I don't retain very much of it.
Well, it's because there's a lot of very similar stuff. I mean, the biggest problem they've had personally with these films, because I grew up with the monster films, I love them, and I went back recently, during the span of this podcast, and filled in all the ones I hadn't seen.
We have them all on a hard drive.
So let's say theoretically one could collect them all in one place. I will say the biggest problem I have is Kong's size being so radically changed.
Yeah.
It's like, here's this creature that was 50 feet when he was created.
Well, Godzilla too.
Oh no, but
Godzilla and the Toho
Godzilla
things was never 400 feet tall.
Godzilla was. Okay, now here's the thing. Godzilla was 160 feet tall in the Japanese version. When they took the Japanese movie and recut it, and they added Raymond Burr to it and all this kind of stuff, they changed his height to 400 feet. And why did they change his height? This is an interesting thing.
I don't know.
There's a difference in the height in buildings in Tokyo and New York. They were using building height as a scale. Okay?
And they were shorter in Tokyo?
They were shorter in Tokyo, but they didn't want to have to explain that to people. Okay? So
that's weird. But then there were
in
all
the
the
text,
movies where
in the dialogue, they say he's 400
than,
feet. In the dialogue, they say
like
he's 400
those
feet.
high power towers.
Again,
I'm seeing more,
I know, but I'm saying in the dialogue they say he's 400 feet. The English speaking actors say he's 400 feet.
He's not.
He was 164 feet. And then in these movies, he's between 350 and 390 feet. Kong went from 50 feet. Peter Jackson made him 25 feet for some reason. We don't understand. He was 102 feet on Skull Island, but now he's 335 feet. So,
jeez, that's a little weird.
I did write all this down. I didn't pull this out of my head. And that's the thing I had the biggest problem with. It was the famous Kong versus Godzilla movie from what was that? 62. He was only 150 feet, and Godzilla was 160 feet. So, but now it's just it's
obviously it's something that it has varied greatly since its inception. So I guess it doesn't make a difference. It's not like, oh my God, Kong is this tall, but he's never been a height, and neither is
it's just
Godzilla.
So, and I think, like I said, it's because buildings have gotten larger, and you need to see him above the buildings. Otherwise, he's walking between buildings.
Well, he should be in like Cleveland and not
exactly.
in New York.
Have him attack a smaller city. That's all there's to it.
He just drops into the Midwest.
He could walk around. He could trash Paris.
Kansas City.
Okay?
He could
trash
he
Paris.
Could go under the arch or over the arch.
That's
St. Louis,
totally works.
St. Louis, you're right, but whatever.
One interesting thing in rewatching Godzilla versus King Kong, and I never picked this up in the first viewing because there's like two subplots that are no way connected whatsoever, except for one bad, I think, CGI shot where the actors come together, who never interacted. But when Kong is in the city knocking buildings down, you don't see people. Okay, when Godzilla's in the city trashing buildings, right, like knocking over his tail, crushing them, you don't see people. When Mecha Godzilla shows up and starts wreaking havoc, tons of screaming people, ground level, running away. It's like everyone knows. They don't want
those people to be bad guys.
It's like everyone knows to evacuate when the two of them are around, but apparently Mecha Godzilla caught everyone unawares. It was just very funny how they did that, because they wanted,
I want Godzilla to be good.
I want them both to be good, actually, and smaller.
And they, for the most part, have been in these modern movies.
Oh, and they try hard. I mean, and this is like one of the things with the idea with the 2019 Godzilla was like, you may think of him as good, but he killed a lot of people, whether he intended to or not. And that's what one of the main characters in there had to contend with, is that their child had died. So I guess two of the main characters in different ways. But, yeah, so it's like I said, they're fun, but Barry, you summed it up perfectly. It's like, there's no reason to think about these movies when you're done watching them.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really just a scorecard on who was in what film. I will say the Kong fighting Godzilla scene on the deck of the aircraft carrier,
freighter, right?
From the freighter to the aircraft carrier was every bit as absurd seeing it the second time as it was the first time. That was just like, yeah.
I'm just hopeful that with this series, if they can keep the story tight and stick the landing and make this this could be better than some of those movies. Like the series is already kind of shaping up to be better than the movies.
None of these movies went above a 6.5 on IMDb. This movie is like a 7. This TV show is like a 7.6 right now. So, it's we'll see what they do with it. Like I said, I'm enjoying it a lot. I love this stuff. We never get enough of the mythology kind of stuff. And it's all about, how do we stop them kind of thing. So this is kind of cool. So
yeah, cool. Well, 3 thumbs up. So check it out, everybody. Okay, next thing. Season 4 of For All Mankind has premiered like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, there's 2 episodes.
3rd episode dropped tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so there's 3 out now.
Is it Tuesdays when it comes out, or
it must be?
I think it's Wednesday. That doesn't matter. So now, spoilers.
It seems like they've got to have some kind of disaster or tragedy in the opening episode of every season.
That is Barry. It's like you got to this is how far we've come, but we're still screwing up.
But we didn't all love the last season.
No.
I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great.
Season 1 was really good. Season 2 was amazing. Last season was a little less.
It was a little weird.
It was a little weird, and also it was very much, foreshadowing the tragedy that was coming, and you really saw what was going to happen badly coming a long time away. And this again, they started out with something. It was like the space liner disaster in the first one. In this one, it was the pushing the big asteroid thing, which was a mistake. By the way, people pull asteroids, don't push them. Or at least don't push them with a stick. Don't push them with a stick with people hanging off it. It's we'll see.
It's still good. It's Mars.
I will say I find that they've found something good to do with all the characters. I like the what they did in the second episode with the 2 younger women, with Kelly and with Elida.
Yeah.
Okay,
that'll be interesting where that goes.
And because that gives the potential to take it off in a direction that's different than either Helios or NASA. Margot, I think at some point, because some of the same people, I've said this before, some of the same people are involved in this show as the Americans. I think at some point they got to get the actress who played Martha and just have her be in like a market looking very depressed or something, when Margot walks by her.
I hope that. I mean, it feels like that they're setting up that Margot's going to be involved in something.
They have to, because if we're wasting that much time,
it's kind of awful right now what they're dealing. I mean,
she was just at the end of this episode. She was arrested. Okay, and she was arrested in this roundup over the failed coup. I bet her picture is going to be publicized. I bet that's what it is. I bet they're going to discover that she's alive through this.
Yeah, but are they going to need her?
No. But what I'm saying is, at this point, everyone in the U.S. thinks she died.
Yeah,
in the
but
bomb.
That's not all that interesting of a storyline. The fact that she's not dead, like there needs to be something bigger.
I think that's very game changing for U.S.-Russian relations. Finding that she's alive.
Yeah,
I think that's going to.
How does that
make
play into the
things,
bigger story? Is really the part that I'm.
Yeah, but then you could also go down the road of she gave them plans for engines and now is living in Russia.
Yeah.
She's going to be more ostracized.
No, I'm not saying it's going to benefit her. I'm saying I think that's what...
I feel like they better do something because they can move on from that character. I'm sure there's something going on.
It is pretty sad just seeing her be miserable. So.
Which could have been show us that in the first episode and then just move on. Like, I'm with you, Dave. Like, unless they're going to do something really cool with that storyline, just let it go.
And honestly, what are they going to do? I don't necessarily need to see her back. I mean, she didn't do the right... I mean, in the context of the show, it seemed like the right thing.
Well, she was being blackmailed. I mean...
Yeah.
She
had a choice.
She tried to do the moral right thing and then got screwed over for it. Okay, these people would die without the information that she shared. She knew that, and basically it was the information that doomed the shuttle, the Challenger, and in this reality they figured it out. The Russians were using the plans but had not caught the detail, and would have had the same fault that the Challenger had, or didn't have in this case. So she did the moral thing, but she paid the price for that. And so
interesting.
Yeah,
I'm a little divided on Ed Baldwin because, like, how old is this guy? You know, I mean, it's what's it, 2000 right now?
Yeah, something like 2002.
I mean, my problem with it is he was clearly a hero, and now he's clearly kind of in a gray area, and I'm not sure that I want to see him that way.
He's not NASA though, right? He's Helios, so he could stay he could stay up there as long as he wants.
Yeah, but so he's, let's see, 1970. Let's say he's 35. Then he's 65, 70. He's a little.
But forgetting about his age for a minute, just the fact that, I mean, it was clearly set up in the second episode that he's not really worrying too much about the well-being of the people that are under his command.
He's phoning it in at this point. It's just he doesn't know what to do.
And he doesn't want to go home.
Right.
He doesn't want to go home, but he's also not doing, like, I forget her character's name, but she comes up there and the first thing she does is recognize, wow, like, people can't get their messages from home. They can't watch program. And she goes on a limb to fix that, to make their lives better in the first day she's there. And Ed's been like, no, we can't fix that. Like,
he's kind of
and I will say he is. And in the confrontation he had with the guy who basically was getting screwed over, the sheriff from Peripheral, and also the dead soldier from Kong Skull Island, he never does well.
He's second billing in this, so he's going to play a big part.
I think he is.
I'm hoping that he plays a positive role. Like,
I know.
I'm a little worried that he's going to
gonna
lead a revolution or a coup.
That's
what
Barry. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm glad they fixed the message thing, because my first concern was he was going to lead like an insurrection, and because they just haven't gone there yet. So we'll see.
I mean, he clearly he's up there for, kind of almost for the wrong reasons, but he's there. But he wants to do the right thing, but he gets there and he realizes how shitty of a situation he's in.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he ends up being a force for good and change, and not like
that kid. They replaced the kid to be the bad guy.
Right.
There's no bad guys yet.
I loved the shot, the kind of time code shot with the two of them split screen going through their day. And right down to like when they tasted her coffee, and she was like, "This isn't bad," and he was like, "Oh, that's disgusting." And then it ends when they meet in the elevator. That was perfect.
That was a great scene, but Ed being like, "Oh, pasta again!" Like,
Yep.
"Oh, you like," and meanward they're eating like gruel down,
and they don't know what it is.
That's interesting because he may be the bad guy. He may bad guy, maybe for the right reasons, but he may lead the revolution because there's who else? Where's the conflict?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unless the conflict becomes. They've already set up the conflict with. Is it the North Koreans that are up there that you can't go in their section of the
right?
Of the
no,
base?
I think it's going to be more
that's
like
where the conflict's.
I think it's going to. I'm predicting it's going to be more like something goes badly, and they're going to need each other to get through the thing. So
maybe
we'll see.
Yeah, his skill set being an oil rig guy might come into play, and it just reminds me of Armageddon a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. That was on today.
Yep. All we need is a slow walk in spacesuits. Now we're there.
Yeah.
So.
But so far, it's been good. It's only been 2 episodes. It's been good. It's good to watch. If you haven't seen it, you should see it.
If you've never seen it, you should. Experiencing the first 2 seasons are just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That's great.
It absolutely is.
Okay. Let's go. What's in the box?
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Barry, what's in the box?
All right, I'm going to go first then. I have wanted this for years. This is probably the first item that ever had the name Star Wars on it.
Hold on.
Before the movie came out.
Wait.
Item. Now, I know of 2 things. It's the comic book and the novelization.
Nope.
Both out.
Before that, there was the Ralph McQuarrie designed sticker that they used on pre-production items and scripts and film cans.
Oh, okay. But I was thinking we were thinking like merchandise.
No, this was the very first thing to ever bear the name Star Wars, but it was
it's the Star Wars. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's great.
And
interesting.
This is a unused sticker from 1976.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where'd you get that from?
I found somebody selling it, and I saw it, and I saw that it was in really good shape, and I had to have it. And he came to me in this like lucite frame.
That's
thing.
awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and they made 2 sizes of these back in the 70s. This is the bigger one. There's also a smaller one. But you'll see if you go look at like old, production photos.
I've seen that
sticker
before.
Yep. Is on film cans and binders and script covers and all kinds of stuff. And they actually, I did a bunch of research. They think that when sort of the amount of however many of these actually showed up and sort of flooded the market back 20 years ago, they think it all came from Gary Kurtz, like the producer. Like he had a stack of them somewhere and he sort of gave them to somebody to sell off. But I have wanted something like this forever, so I've had this for a little bit sitting here. I haven't had a chance to show it to you guys yet. So,
and it's definitely
yep.
Genuine.
It is
not the question.
Nope, it is. I did a lot of research on what it should say on the back and what type of sticker it is, and Gus Lopez has these on his website and talks about the history of them, and yeah, this is the real deal. So
good. That's cool.
I haven't figured out where or how to display it yet, but so far it's just
that right there on your desk is not bad.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, Propstar, I think, has them once in a while.
They show up in some of the auctions, yeah. I mean, I think I did pretty good on it considering what I've seen them sell for. So I was pretty happy.
You'll have to tell us off the air.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
That's what's in the box.
Cool.
Who wants to go next? Dave, Todd? Are you guys doing the same thing?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Dave, why don't you go?
I'll go. So I have a Exo 6 Star Trek item, and it's Locutus of... I just pulled one of his hoses out. Locutus of Borg. I pre-ordered this a while ago. I just opened... It's super... Todd, you haven't opened
I've not
yours.
opened mine yet. Did you put the batteries in them? Did you?
I have not. I literally just opened it before we recorded. All the hoses pop out and in. So anyway, the head sculpt is great. It definitely.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can see, I'm showing it to the camera.
Yeah, that looks
But
cool.
there's a lot of wires. He's got sort of a fabric undersuit and a lot of plastic. It's very solid. And he's got this hand that's magnetized that comes off and on. And I guess that's the thing that lights up or something. I don't know. I haven't really dug into it.
Does his eye light up too, or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll get back to you on that. I'll get mine out this week.
Yeah. But there's a lot of wires and stuff all over the place, and I don't know where they all go, and you got to do them in. But yeah, it looks good. This is definitely something that, looks good on a shelf. It's only a handful of poses it can actually do, and that's fine because the Borg are pretty stiff.
What you I think you really need to do with this guy is have him standing behind Picard.
Yeah,
I think he's got to be like the thing that Picard can never get away from, and it's just kind of there behind him.
It's hard to, all these hoses pop out. I gotta put them all back in. But, they did a good job with this.
Yeah, I hemmed and hawed over that one. I ultimately decided not to pick it up, but it looks great.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna have tomorrow, Black Friday, they're supposedly opening up, there's a bunch of stuff they're gonna put on their website for sale that may be stuff that was sold out in the past, and they have stuff that they
interesting.
Found some, so check those guys out. So, yeah,
cool.
That's what's in the box.
Cool.
Todd, what do you got?
Okay, so this is a NECA action figure of a pterodactyl. It's kind of cool. It's got good head articulation, the jaw moves and stuff like that. The best part was it came with a King Kong figure. Okay, who's pretty good. He's also good. He's got a stick and he's got a bunch of hands. He's got an alternate head. When I put this head on him, I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it's got like a weird smile, but the jaw's articulated.
Oh, wow, look at that.
And so it looks really good. And I didn't have a Kong figure on my kaiju shelf because I just haven't. Because I guess it's, again, I've the size issue thing has been bugging me. But he came with another little monster guy that he can wrestle with. This is from Skull Island.
Now, the pterodactyl, is that something like he's meant to be holding in a hand? Or
yes, he's meant to be fighting it.
Okay.
And so that's I've done that. He's also got the tree that he uses as a stick. Really, really good articulation. Lots of posing potential. I also got an Iron Man Mark I figure last week, and I had him holding for the last week. He's been holding Iron Man Mark I over his head in triumph. But it's cool. It's done really, really well, and I think the new Mecha Godzilla is the only one of these that I still want that I need. But I've got, like I said, a kaiju shelf that's got a bunch of different versions with Godzilla and Rodan and a bunch of other things on there. And I need the turtle guy too, Dave. That you got. You got the turtle guy, right?
Gamera. I have the Gamera that the Micronaut fits in.
Yeah. So
that's like an older one from the 90s, I think.
So I need a Gamera, but yeah, it's cool. And like I said, I needed some Kong representation, and he works well.
It looks better with his mouth open.
Oh, he definitely. Yeah. Well, that head does. The other head is much fiercer. He's kind of got the furrowed brow.
Oh yeah,
and that looks good too. So, but yeah,
I've had this Godzilla on my desk for about 10 years. I love this.
Yes, I have him in a couple different sizes.
Is that the SH Monster Arts?
Yeah. The really
cool I think one. I have him in my.
I've got that and the matching Mecha Godzilla, and
I have those too.
I think I have 8 different versions of Godzilla, which are different incarnations from including the Happy Smiley '60s one, which I love. They're great, and so it just seemed like I said it was a spot I had to fill given my rewatch. So yep,
cool. All right, that's what's in the box. Next week there'll be a show. I don't know what it's going to be about. We'll figure that out. Maybe the 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe 90s movies.
I like that idea. I think that could be fun. We haven't done something like that for a while.
This is going to take some research.
Yeah. Well, you get some time off this week. So
there you go. Yeah. We'll check that out. Everyone go see Planet Earth.
Go see the Marvels, people. You can find a seat. I promise you.
I am actually going to try to see it between now and the end of the weekend.
Me too. But I'm going to try to do that. So yeah, but it's next time it'll be. I think it'll almost be December by the next time we do this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's crazy. Time is flying, but it's all good. There's good stuff out there.
Yep.
So watch some TV, buy some stuff, make your list. Check it twice. Buy something fun for loved ones. Don't buy a sweater. It's all good.
They can buy themselves clothes. Get them something.
They can buy themselves some clothes. Get them a toy.
Exactly. Everyone wants it, even if they don't want it.
That's right.
Exactly. No, who doesn't want a toy? And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.